Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Two Idiots Talking Ball podcast. I'm Evo and this is my co-host Bennett. We're two idiots and we're about to talk ball. Bennett, how we doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing especially good after that loss last night. Hate Philly. How are you doing? How are you feeling with that?
I am feeling uh, very, very good, especially seeing how they just tore their city apart. Before we do jump into the Super Bowl, though, a little ticker, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, follow us on Twitter at EvaNowsAll31 and at Bennett Torgerson1, along with our channel's Twitter at Two Idiots Talk Ball for the best clips and takes. Without further ado, I guess we can just talk about how beautiful that Super Bowl was. I guess just to run through it, the Eagles dominated the first half and didn't dominate the second half. The
Not
Chiefs
at
dominated
all.
the second half. Did you want to talk about the call first or the game?
I think the game first because the call is basically the end of the game, so we can just work our way there.
All right. Well, first, can we talk about how much of a dumb idiot Jalen Hurts is?
That throw was pretty horrible at the end. The Hail
No,
Mary.
but I'm talking the fumble.
Oh, that was. I still don't understand how he fumbled that. Watching the replay, that just you got to hold on to the ball in that situation. It's the biggest game of your life.
I I
Like,
mean he
I
played
mean,
very well,
yeah,
but he's stupid and he dropped the
yes.
ball when he shouldn't have.
It looks like a
Um,
Madden animation when he dropped it, which I thought was kind of funny.
um, I think the key to the game for the Chiefs was the front seven of the worked up and like probably was the best front seven in NFL history this year.
Mhm.
Um, they didn't touch Patrick Mahomes. Did they have a single sack?
I don't think they had a single sack. No.
And like it wasn't like a Buck Super Bowl where Patrick Mahomes was running around and they weren't really getting sacks.
Hmm.
Patrick Mahomes, obviously, he had that one big escape play to put them in field goal range at the end of the
Yeah.
game, but he didn't really have to do much with his legs, which helped
Hmm.
him a lot with the ankle. Wait,
Yeah. That was another point I was going to bring up too. Was that ankle tackle was very dirty, and it showed on the replay how dirty it was. Where he was gonna get him on the other ankle. I don't remember who the guy that tackled him was. He was gonna get him on the other ankle, and then he grabbed the one that was injured and like twisted it kind of on the way down, which that was some BS. But
Devontae Smith is him.
yes.
I've been on this train. I've been saying Devontae Smith is one of my favorite receivers.
Hmm.
Um, but dog, like I know he had rookie corners on him and all
Hmm.
that, but he was cooking. And
He was cooking. That AJ Brown touchdown as well was, I think, was beautiful, and I think that throw was perfectly thrown to get him open.
Theo Ash posted something where it was like he pump faked. I see
Hmm.
it. Like I don't know how much of like he consciously did it. Like I
Hmm.
don't know if he really like was running the route and saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna pump fake him right here." But
Hmm.
I don't know. It was tough. I really
Yeah,
liked it. Jalen Hurts, um, aside from that fumble, played
I think he had a
a
really good
flawless
game.
game.
Yeah.
Like there's been a lot of talk of him being a top five quarterback, and I still don't quite buy into that. But he played like it yesterday,
Yeah.
and going into the game, we were all saying if Jalen Hurts can play a great game, there's no way the Eagles lose. What do you think the Chiefs did to, I guess, to just sterilize them in the second half?
I think the biggest part of the Chiefs game was their O-line. I think
Hmm.
that personally, I do believe that Patrick Mahomes had a good game, but I think that they should have made a way to make every member of the offensive line the Super Bowl MVP. The Eagles have one of the best defenses in the NFL, and there wasn't a single sack. There was no interception, right? I can't remember. There was no interception for either team, right?
Nah.
Yeah, there's no interceptions, which is incredible because it's a below average wide receiver core on the Chiefs. And I think Travis Kelce had a really good game. I think Patrick Mahomes had a good game. The box score watchers are going to think he had a horrible game because that was not a typical Mahomes game. There wasn't big yardage. He did have a ton of touchdowns, but it wasn't a big yardage game. Also, Isaiah Pacheco's a monster. That man is a
Oh yeah.
demon. He is a demon. But
I thought it
like,
was. Oh, go ahead. My fault.
no, you can go. You can go.
No, like Andy Reid, he really put his balls on the table and said, "All
Yeah.
right, you could have this last time, like in the red zone. They did the same play twice, once to
Mhm.
Sky Moore, once to Kadarius Toney,
Yeah.
and just oh my god,
Oh, I will say as well, sorry, but Juju had an underrated game, in my
that
opinion. He was
that
cooking in the second half.
yeah, no, it was really that one drive in the third quarter where it
Mhm.
was literally only Juju,
Yeah.
and I don't think he scored a touchdown, but
No.
he took them all the way there,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it was all on like these curl routes, like in
Mhm.
breaking stuff. It was nothing crazy, but he was just finding himself open against
Yeah.
one of, if not the best
Yeah,
secondary in the league.
that's the thing as well, like, I don't understand that, and I wanna see, like, I don't know if they'll release, like, all 22 footage. How were the Chiefs wide receivers so open, like, throughout the game? Because the Eagles secondary is, like, pretty good.
I feel like we do this every single week with the Chiefs, where we're like, they're not good. Their
Mhm.
receivers aren't good. Why are they doing this?
Ooh.
Um, it's really Travis Kelsey, Patrick
Yeah.
Mahomes, and Andy Reid. I think Patrick Mahomes does something that probably no other quarterback in the league does, and that's throw with insane, like the most insane anticipation I've ever
Mhm.
seen. To
Yeah.
where like he'll throw the ball and then the guy's not open, and then he just is. And I don't
Yeah.
think there's any other way to explain that.
Dude,
And
him
then
running on his ankle still is like, I know that's like everyone's saying that, but that's just that's not normal on a high ankle sprain. Gets injured at halftime on the same ankle, comes out and is still making moves in the pocket, having elite escapability. That's just crazy.
mhm.
I don't want to be a meat muncher, but like
Yeah, no. And
he's
then
just like he's so good. Sorry.
I had this take in the game, like during the game. Is Travis Kelsey the best non-quarterback in the league? I
I
mean, I feel like Vikings bias makes me wanna say Justin Jefferson, but dude, I
But the
don't
thing
know.
is he can't really he's not an elite tight end blocker. Like, he's not a tight end that's gonna be good at blocking,
Yeah,
which is like
but with how good he is, like,
yeah.
obviously, you have to factor in the fact that he is a tight end, and so you should be able to do
Mhm.
that, but considering what he does versus everyone else in the league, blocking would
Yeah, that's
just be
true.
on that would just be icing on the cake.
Yeah, I think that's a fair take, yeah. And the only argument that I could think of is one that I don't agree with, but it's one that is so overhyped, and that's the, "Oh, Aaron Donald is the best non-QB in the
Oh
league."
my god,
He's
I was gonna
not.
say that.
He's
He
not.
he
Not
had an off
anymore.
year. Yeah, no,
He
not anymore.
he like, maybe last year, maybe 2 years ago, not this year. And I don't think that was really his fault. The Rams were just not good this year at all as a
Oh, no.
team.
So,
My
with the
cat just broke
Chiefs
in.
with the Chiefs and with the Eagles have some tough cap things to
Mhm.
like to address.
Yeah,
James Bradbury, I know is one. They've got a few people on their defensive line,
yeah,
um, and then what is Jason Kelsey's retiring, right?
yeah, more than likely. And then, yeah, their whole defensive line is what they have Jordan Davis, but it's Ndamukong Suh, Linval Joseph, and I know they had another old guy on the line. So they're like and I'm pretty sure they have 10 key free agents leaving.
Not
They're
leaving, but
or, entering free agency.
mhm.
They're gonna I think that they could get back into playoff contention, but I don't think next year they're gonna be in Super Bowl contention. Or I don't think they're gonna be a team playing in the Super Bowl next year.
I think they'll definitely be able to like fight for it, but I
Yeah.
don't. I mean, it again. We don't know, but
Mhm,
as of right now,
mhm.
picking them to win the Super Bowl is tough. Um, I guess if we wanted to talk about who's going to win the Super Bowl, we could talk about the Super Bowl odds did just get posted. Did you want to talk about that real quick?
Yeah, here, let me close my door real quick so that this little monkey doesn't break in again. Just
All
give me
right.
1 second.
While Bennett is doing that, uh, just pulled up our. Oh, can you see that very well?
Yeah, I can see that really good.
Let me open this. Um, the Super Bowl odds for next year.
They're pretty
At the
bad.
at the top, I don't dislike this very much. Chiefs
Mhm.
should be number one. Bills, I guess, too, but
Yeah,
the Eagles at three, you could move them down, but I mean, they were just in the Super Bowl, so I
yeah.
think it's fair to have them there. Bengals, really good. Niners, really good. Cowboys,
Mhm,
really good. Ravens, I don't know. I think that's where it's
mhm.
like
That's where
Ravens
it
and
starts to break
Chargers.
off.
Ravens and Chargers, maybe, but the Ravens still have moves to make. Chargers,
They need to get
okay.
some upgrades on offense, though, before they're gonna be what are they on that, like, a top are they, like, number 10 on that?
It looks like they're, I think, eight. Looking at it with the naked eye, one,
They
two,
need to get
three,
another wide
four,
receiver
five.
before they're gonna be
Yeah,
top 10
but
because
I mean, let's be real. Ravens and Chargers 7 and 8.
that's not I
That's
don't
not horrible, but
yeah,
like
but it's not
it's
good.
it's it's the Packers at 10.
That's baffling,
That is
and that's not
baffling.
even biased, that's just
Yeah, if you didn't know already, I'm sure there's no one that is not a Vikings fan watching this. I would be really surprised, but if you didn't know, we're fans. And I honestly, I think what's worse than the Packers at 9 is the Lions at 11.
Lions, yeah.
Like that is just in Jets at 12. Like that actually, Jets maybe makes a little bit of sense if they get their quarterback, but that's
Mhm.
insane projecting. Like
Yeah.
the Lions were not a playoff team this year, and I understand they got hot, but they would likely have to be like they'd have to take another leap. I think they'll
They're
get there
gonna
eventually, but fuck, like
they're gonna have a harder schedule next year too, right?
yeah,
Like, significantly. I think they could be a wild card team,
I
but,
think they will be.
yeah, I don't think they're winning this division. Um, I really see us going 11-6, and Detroit probably will go 9-8. I don't see them going over that yet. They still need to I know we still need to fix our defense, but they had a pretty horrible defense,
Yeah,
especially towards the end of the season.
I mean, I guess we can just talk about us at what's 18, 17.
That's just okay. I can see why they have the Packers over us. Of course, Packers are a big name team, and then the Lions. Everyone's becoming a Lions fan.
I feel like
Uh,
that's kind of like a grasp for money, maybe.
yeah, I can't really like. Obviously, the Lions are in our division; they're division rival. But I don't like hate the Lions. Like I can't hate them. Like I hate the
Nah,
Bears and Packers, but the Lions are
nah,
just like a team that I don't think you could hate them.
dude, you don't know.
I don't interact
The
with their
Lions are my least
fans,
favorite
so
team. Oh my
really,
goodness, you are lucky.
yeah,
Their fans. Um, I'm trying to think of like a good way to put this, and the only way I can put it is their fans are AIDS. Like
really.
it's crazy. I remember we were both 1-1, and we were playing um in week three,
Mhm.
and we were in a space, and two of them said they would rather have this year, they would rather have the Lions than the Vikings, which is like, all right, dude, if you want to be
Yeah.
objectively wrong, go for it, but don't be
Mhm.
too confident about it.
Mhm.
Um, and then they were saying Goff was better than Cousins before the season. Like maybe that holds some validity right now. Maybe
Mhm.
if you're reaching, but before the season, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And then dog. And now they think because they beat us in like what week 15, they're just like, oh no, like it's chalk. They're better than us. Like,
Yeah.
bro, get serious. Um,
Yeah,
do
no,
you?
I'm glad like the only fans, and you probably know because you see it on your timeline when I argue with Bears fans,
Mhm.
I go in on Bears fans. I can't stand them because no matter what, no matter how ass they are, they're 3-14. and no matter what, they're still gonna find a way to say that they're better than you, which makes no sense. It makes
Well,
no sense.
I think the Bears fans are more funny than they are stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. The
I feel like a
Packers
lot of them are
fans,
trolling. They have to be, right?
yeah. There's one of them that I like. I don't remember his name, but everyone on Vikings who interacts with him, and he's, like, not annoying. I don't remember his name. I think it's, like, Bojack or something. He's, like, not annoying, but all the other ones are pretty bad.
I don't know. It's just like I mean, they probably have to live in Chicago, and I don't know.
Yeah. No, but it's like 18 is just crazy. I mean, awesome, doubt us. That's what they did this year, and look how we did. But with the floor is higher, especially, I don't see how 18 could be like a sane take. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, cool frauds. Oh
Yeah,
no, like we fraud. Oh yeah, we got beat by Daniel Jones. Kirk
but it was a
Cousins
good
can't win the
season
big
though, is the
game.
thing.
It, I think people hold too much weight into the games that we should have lost instead of the fact that
Mhm.
looking at the games that we actually won because of the fact that we like you should not like this 15 one tour games probably unacceptable. I agree. We
Yeah,
agree.
yeah.
Um but to give us no credit for actually winning those one tour games and just saying like every single one of them are lucky, two or three of them, yes, were probably luck.
Mhm.
Um, like the Bills game should not have won by any stretch of the
The
imagination.
Giants game too, kind of. 61-yard field goal is pretty.
Yeah, but it's like you can't give us any credit for winning the close games. Is that
Yeah,
not a skill? I mean,
yeah,
you do it fit. What were we on the season? We were 15-1 in one score games. Our one loss coming into playoffs.
yeah.
Um, it's a trend, right? And so you can
Mhm.
maybe if it happened two or three times, yeah. But once it becomes a trend, sure, there's you can question it,
Yeah.
but come on.
That's the thing that sucks is it's like and you've probably heard me say this before, but it's just like a top 15 defense, a middle of the pack defense, and we're making a deep playoff run. The
Mhm.
offense literally carried this franchise. It's insane how much this defense was just awful. Like, and obviously the red zone defense was really good, but
Yeah, no. So with that, you 18 doesn't make any sense because obviously you can go down,
mhm,
but if you see an improvement on the defense, sure your record is probably not going to be 13-4,
mhm.
uh, but you have a better shot at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it's like our top 2 draft picks from this year who were defensive players didn't even play, like, any meaningful snaps this season other than Andrew Booth had snaps in the Cowboys game and at the end of the Bills game, but he was not ready. He was not ready at all. He was coming off an off-season injury and thrown into covering Stephon Diggs, which is
Mhm.
not easy unless you're Duke Shelley or Caleb Evans, but it's rare, so
I
that
mean, yeah.
and
I
obviously, like, I love Andrew Booth, so I'm super high on him just because I loved him at Clemson, but I'm I just don't get how you can look at the offense for this team and then some of the young pieces we have on defense, who we could possibly draft this year, who's coaching them, a former head coach who was good at coaching the defense. They were pretty shitty offense, don't get me wrong, but he was a good defensive coach, and you're just saying, nope, 18th in Super Bowl odds. That makes no sense.
I mean, look, I don't have much to complain about.
Yeah.
There's not much to say. They're dumb. We're smart.
Mhm.
Like they don't know ball. That's all we can say.
That's
You don't
facts,
know
yeah.
ball. Vegas, you don't know ball. Um,
I feel like it's what you said too, though, where it's like a cash grab for some of these teams because people are gonna see like I can use Chargers fans as an example. I have friends that are Chargers fans because I live in Southern California. They
mhm.
bet all the time. They will bet money on the Chargers winning the Super Bowl. It's a cash grab, but it's a shitty cash grab.
Yeah. You say Um, Covering the Vikings, you said you had a topic you wanted to discuss.
Oh
So,
yeah, this is also probably what like makes all this misinformation about the team go around, which is the horrible media that the state of Minnesota has for sports. Absolutely awful. Um, I don't want to call this guy out because you were formerly on a show like this with him, but Joe being one of the biggest, like, I wouldn't call him media, but voices for the Vikings is a little detrimental.
well, and so me and Joe are cool, right?
Mhm,
And I don't think I hope he wouldn't take offense to me saying this. A strictly Kirk Cousins fan, not a Vikings
mhm.
fan. He has made that very
Yes.
clear. A
Yes,
strictly Kirk
yes.
Cousins fan being one of the biggest Vikings accounts is
Mhm.
not good for Vikings media. I think
Yes.
even he could probably admit that in terms of Vikings media. And then
Yeah.
and then we look at I mean, you log into Twitter and you're blocked by Rick Sosa,
Mhm.
Matthew Collar, and Eric Eager. Um,
Yeah.
all three of like my problem is, and I don't know, did I like cut you off
No.
on anything
No.
with them? It's there's a very clear split in the Vikings, and that
Mhm.
is Kirk Cousins, right? And
Yeah.
we know that. And it'd be one thing if these people were good at their job, but Matthew Collar and Eric Eager are on like I relate it to politics and
Mhm.
like they are on the way left, or is this left? Whatever this is on your screen, right?
Yeah.
Um, they they're not going to rock with Kirk Cousins no matter what.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's part of being in media. You say a take, and then you say
Mhm.
it again, and now it's your thing. It's your stick.
Yeah.
Um, they can't credit him on a good throw. I don't think his contract or him going forward is the best, but he's not killing the team like you're saying he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Over here, I don't want to lump Joe into it because he's not Vikings media, but
Mhm.
he's seen as that. But
Yeah.
you have Rick Sosa over here who Kirk Cousins like the thing is I would actually rather like Joe be the Kirk Cousins guy than Rick Sosa because Joe is actually he knows
He's
ball.
competent. Yeah.
Yes, Rick is just there because he knows Spanish.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
it. And and so with this, you have this dynamic of a bunch of people that are like subtweeting each other and being idiots, and they'll post their little Kirk Cousins is the worst quarterback in the NFC
Mhm.
North, or
Mhm.
Kirk Cousins is the best quarterback in the entire NFC, which is that's not a serious take. And
Yeah.
then you have the middle, which is uh would you say it was probably Luke Braun, who leans to the side of no Kirk Cousins, but honestly, I don't think he cares enough to really push for it. You have
Yeah. He's
Nick Olson, who's also there.
Luke's more like I don't really see him hate on Kirk that much. I usually whenever I see Luke, he's just talking like film and tape, but I've never seen him have like a bad, like horribly bad Kirk take.
It to stray away from like the specific people,
Mhm.
um, on Vikings Twitter specifically, it's gotten so bad that like people have picked sides and it's like a war
Yeah.
basically. And
Yeah.
so I tried this after the playoff game. I tweeted like two different tweets. I tweeted a like basically Kirk good, like
Mhm.
and gave like a whole like paragraph on how Kirk is good and very good.
Yeah.
Uh, got like 40 likes, a few retweets, and people in the replies saying, "Oh my goodness, thank you so much." And then I tweeted basically the exact same thing except for twisted and said Kirk bad, 40 likes, a few
Mhm.
retweets, and a bunch of people like praising me in the comments. It's like um, we've gotten into such an even split that it's so tough to actually people like you go. I'm gonna say this in like a Twitter space thing. I know you don't frequent them,
Mhm.
but you go into giant spaces. Like I was in giant spaces before we played. They are obviously there's a Daniel Jones discourse, but they are
Mhm.
very dead set on yeah we're gonna win and we like our team.
Yeah.
You get the sense that Vikings fans don't like the team.
Yeah. It's like and in no means what, like, I'm saying is a shot, like, against any of these people, but
I'm
it's like
shitting.
well, yeah, I was about to say, I know you might be, but, like, if you look at, like, the I guess you could say, like, social media, like, YouTube representation of the team, we don't have, like, a Tom Grossi or, like, this is a funny example, but he's a Steelers fan, so, like or, like, a urinating tree or, like, who's the Broncos guy? He's really funny, I forget his name. Like him, we don't have that. Like, we don't have, like, a big, like these are people with, like, 500,000 subscribers. Like, we
We
don't
we have
have
we have locked too many.
yeah. Lock to Mini is the biggest, like presence that we have, and it's just, like it's not no, it is a bad thing because those people, um, I can't think of the word, or appeal. Those people appeal to a younger audience because it's like it's YouTubers, so they appeal to a younger audience. We don't have that at all. Before I came onto Twitter, it was there's nothing. There's literally nothing. There's no one that you can like hear from for the Vikings, and it's
What
not good.
Before Twitter, what I did is I would watch Purple for the Win,
That's and not
and
a
there's
shot
some
like not a shot against his takes, but it's obvious that it's a much less serious show than like the other
like
guys.
and he like I don't think I have to say it, but he has some baggage.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I, it's really tough because our national media consists of Eric Eager and Matthew
Mhm.
Collar. Like if
Yeah.
you ask people who is the most known Vikings fan analyst, not some analyst that played for the
Mhm.
Vikings, but like some nerd on the internet, who's the most
Yeah.
popular one? Matthew Collar and Eric Eager are gonna come up, and
Mhm.
they'll speak for the Vikings fans. They'll be like, Vikings fans want this.
Yeah, and it's
Meanwhile,
not.
they have blocked probably half the
Yeah.
fan base.
Yeah, and it's like I know this just came into my head too because I was talking about YouTube or whatever. Viking social media is pretty good. Like, I'm not waking up and I'm like, "Time to watch, like, a Monday morning mailbag with Paul Allen," but, like,
I don't
I'll
know,
watch some of the stuff they put out, and it's not bad. It's just no one, like that's not the, like, social media presence that you need.
bro. We had
Like
96 questions.
like 90 I mean, 96 questions is fire, but it's like, that's put out by the team. Like, it needs to
Hmm.
be, like, someone else.
Yeah,
Like
and that's what we're here for.
yeah, facts.
That shit. Um, but I guess that's enough for ranting about our experiences on Twitter.
Mhm.
Um, how did you feel with the Rihanna halftime show?
I've had some very mixed responses on this, and I don't think it was Rihanna's fault that it wasn't that good. I think that she wasn't allowed to she obviously can bring in Drake because they were, like, in a relationship or whatever before, so she can have Drake as a feature. Very obvious why she couldn't have Kanye on for Flashing Lights.
Are
I
you
don't think
sure? What?
anyone's not understanding why.
Uh,
And, I mean, like, it would've been cool I know do her and ASAP have a song together? I don't think they
I
do,
wish they did.
but it would've been cool to see ASAP there. But, I mean,
Mhm.
dude, she's freaking pregnant performing at the Super Bowl, like, that's, like you gotta give her credit for that, but I think, like and I know it's funny that I'm bringing up the weekends because like, with me, what I was seeing is not a lot of people liked the weekend's performance after it
Mhm.
happened, and then, like, a year later, everyone liked it, and everyone's comparing Rihanna's to his. So, maybe Rihanna's will be better in a year or 2, but the set design like, the weekend set design was so cool when it was just, like, the maze and he was walking through it.
You didn't
Hers
like
was like a
the I actually I didn't hate the levitating platforms.
no,
That
I
was
thought those were
kinda
cool, yeah, but it's
but
like, the choreography was kind of interesting.
the times where she'd turn around just, like, holding her ass was kinda weird.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, the
"Alright,
funniest
dude."
was the guy, like like crawling and thrusting in the air, like following her. Like that was so.
It just look, Rihanna, very beautiful. That
I
that takes it up a notch.
I think she's very talented. Her music is not bad either.
Her no, her music is
Her
gas.
music is very good.
If it was a concert, like just a straight concert,
Mhm.
it would have been awesome because
Yeah.
like she's a really good live performer.
Mhm.
But people didn't see like the strobe lights and
Mhm.
the I don't know, like all the crazy dancing, and there was no
Mhm.
guest, so people were kind of down on it. But I think her like talent and she's hot, so that like
Yeah.
all up a notch.
I think it's very hard to follow last year's as well with like what, like 50 guest appearances in
Yeah.
the halftime show last year. That's very hard to follow up, but I think she did a good job.
Hmm.
Like I did think the floating glass things were cool, but it did scare me when she almost fell off and it started
She
like
almost
tipping
fell
over.
off.
She like stepped back and it like tipped over a little bit, but I mean, it
Damn.
was I mean, I
Double
can't think of like
homicide.
a I can't think of like a mid Super Bowl performance because all like the past 4 have been pretty good. So,
I'm not gonna
but
lie. Aside from last year and this year
mhm.
and Katy Perry, I don't think I've watched any of them.
I watched the Shakira one.
I've heard some bad things. Was it just like Shakira and J Lo? Nah.
Mhm.
Actually, I remember the Bruno Mars one. Was that the
Bruno Mars
Shakira
one was
one?
good. No,
It
I
was
don't
like
think
Bruno
so.
Mars, Adam Levine,
That's
and
the one
was
that
it?
everyone's been talking about, that was, like, the one of the
It
best ones
it
ever.
was okay. It was. Was it? It wasn't Beyonce with them. No way. Beyonce was
What
with
was
those two.
the, when they did the SpongeBob clip, who performed? That was 2019, I think.
Was
That
that the
was
weekend?
no, Weekend was 2020.
Lady
No,
Gaga.
2021.
Lady Gaga. Katy Perry.
Maybe
No,
then, yeah.
Katy
I
Perry
think
was
it
a
was
long
a
time ago.
I think it was I wanna say it was a rapper, but I can't figure out who.
Nah, no way.
I don't know
Last
who it
year was
would have
like
been
the
though.
first rap one, I think. Look it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Um, I think our first episode's going pretty well. The
I do
dialogue's
too.
been pretty fluent and whatnot. I'm pretty sure Brev is the only person who is probably listening this far. So hi, Brev. Um, but
Oh,
yeah, I want to see.
it was Maroon 5 featuring Travis Scott.
That
That
was
was
probably
2019.
fire.
That
Travis
was fire.
Scott.
That was fire.
Oh, wait, Adam Levine's done two now.
I think so.
That's
Because I think
crazy.
he did one solo and then one
No, no,
with Maroon 5.
he did one with Maroon 5. Yeah, solo, but not solo because he did
Mhm,
it with
mhm.
Bruno Mars and
Yeah.
probably Beyonce. I think it was. I'll look that up actually.
Oh, are we talking live right now?
What do you mean?
I thought we were recording. I did not know we were talking to people right now.
Are we?
I thought we were.
No, we're not.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Wait, why'd you think that?
I don't know. Because you said Brev's the only one listening, so I thought that there
Nah.
was someone actively listening.
No, he's just the only person that like consistently listens to my things.
Oh. My friend, Sean will listen, the one that was begging for you to follow him back.
Oh, shout out Sean. All right. Want to talk about some draft and then
Let's talk
dip?
about some drafting.
All right. Let's see.
Mine
Share
are yours
screen.
first.
Whichever one pops up first.
Okay.
This looks like mine. Does that look good? Are we looking
That
good?
is yours, yeah.
All right. So we decided to only do top 10. Because PFF draft board. The only way I can
Garbage.
really put this is AIDS. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
and it was awful, and I couldn't deal with it. And then Bennett's wouldn't load, like the full thing wouldn't load. So we're doing top tens. Real quick, I'll just break mine down. Colts trade up, need a quarterback. Bryce Young, best quarterback in the draft, makes sense. The Bears are going to get a lot of capital for that pick. CJ Stroud is the very clear second best quarterback. I think the only thing that prevents this is his agent being Deshaun Watson's agent,
Oh,
which I didn't think about when drafting that. I
yeah,
just
I didn't know that.
and I've picked Will Levis there before, but I think CJ. I think it'll be one of those things where the Texans are just an awful organization and they'll still draft him because he's
Yeah,
good. Uh,
yeah.
Jalen Carter to the Cardinals makes sense. Really good. Cardinals need literally anything. Bears at 4, going to take BPA, Will Anderson. The Seahawks, they don't need a quarterback. I don't think Geno Smith will probably hold it down for another year or
Mhm,
two. And I like they don't have many terrible holes except for on their D line. The trenches are
mhm.
not good there, and so Tyree Wilson, a guy who you can stand up on the outside, but I think you could also move more inside and just destroys things, run defense, and is always flying around. I love him for the Seahawks there. 6 is probably my first surprising one. I have the Panthers trading up from 9 with the Lions to grab Anthony Richardson. I think with a new coach, with Frank Reich, they're just kind of done with doing this whole, oh well, we're just gonna wait till next year to get our quarterback, because
Mhm.
at 9, I think it's a very low possibility that both Anthony Richardson and Will Levis are still there. I think 8 is the cutoff for both of them.
Yeah.
So considering that, they need to go get their guy. And I picked Richardson over Levis just because I think that's more of a Reich quarterback. And I think maybe his ceiling's higher and his combine's going to be absurd. So that
Yeah.
propels him above. Um, Peter at 7. I think the Raiders are going to go get their quarterback in free agency or via trade. So I think getting an offensive lineman to shore up the trenches and just make that offense even better, and just saying screw the defense, we'll just win with offense, is probably what they're going to do. I am interested to see how that works. You can kick Peter inside or outside.
Mhm.
I know they have Colton Miller, and if the other tackle, who I'm forgetting his name, is serviceable, you can make him a guard. Levis at 8. Desmond Ritter doesn't move me, and nobody on that team moves me. So why not shoot at Levis? You can talk me out of that pick, though. Um, the Lions at 9 are going to take best player available with Witherspoon. They need a cornerback, and he's the best cornerback on the board, so they take him. And then the Eagles, we talked about it earlier. They're losing James Bradbury, most likely. He's probably going to get a bag. They're probably losing C.J. Gardner-Johnson, too. Go get a cornerback, a young guy who you can probably keep moving forward next to Darius Slay. And that's my top 10.
All right. I agree with a lot of that. You'll see that in a second.
Yeah, did you want to, like, did you have a problem with anything?
I mean, obviously, because the picks are switched in mine is 3 and 4. I just really see Will Anderson going to the Cardinals. I don't see them letting him slip down.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, that's right. You think Will Anderson's better than Jalen Carter.
no, I don't think he's better. I'll explain when we
All
get back
right.
to the only thing that I question is Levis to the Colt or to the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I mean, obviously he's going to be an upgrade to Desmond Ritter. His ceiling is higher than Desmond Ritter,
Mm-hmm.
but I just I just don't know if they go QB again 2 years in a row after spending a third round pick on one.
Well, that would be the same situation with the Cardinal or with
Mhm.
the Panthers. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about Matt Corral. So yeah, we can just jump to mine.
oh
I
wait,
don't.
did you have a problem with Peter? You said that before the recording.
Oh no, really? Like I was stuck on my Raiders pick until I chose who I chose because I really think their O line is awful,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they'll get a veteran quarterback. They're obviously going to get one in free agency, but I don't know how much they're going to value that veteran. So
Well, did you want to have like the Peter versus Paris debate?
I I think this is my thing for the top 3 tackles who I have, it's not even this isn't the ranking, this is just me saying their name, just Peter, Paris, and Anton. I think all 3 of them could honestly be interchangeable in this draft with how teams view them.
Mm-hmm.
I think they all could go at I think either mm, I guess I have no, it's really just Paris and Peter I have tied, and then Anton's like a 1B, and Peter and Paris are both two-way tied. I
Mhm.
think that those 2 are interchangeable. Anton maybe could sneak in somehow, but I don't really see it. I have
It's
nothing against Peter other than his little arms, but he still wins his blocks, like, often.
it's kind of a pick your poison thing, except for
Yeah.
it's not poison.
Mhm.
Paris Johnson is a Goliath of a man.
Yeah.
Peter is a very versatile guy and very
Mhm.
athletic. Not to say Paris Johnson isn't athletic, but Peter, you can kick him pretty much anywhere except for probably center.
Mhm.
And then I trust him to pass block. That's
Yeah.
it. Paris
Yeah.
Johnson, I don't know really much about his run blocking, but I know like you just can't beat him pass blocking. Not
Mhm.
possible. So where do you have them? I guess we're kind of going on sort of a tangent on them, but where
Mhm.
like against last year's tackles, where do you have them ranked?
Like, last year's draft tackles?
Yeah, so like last year's
Um,
top three plus Peter and Paris.
so last year's were hold on, I'm blanking.
It
Um,
was it was Icky, it was Cross, it was Neil, and
okay, Neil was one of my favorite offensive line prospects. I know he didn't really have a good year this year, right? I
yeah,
didn't see much about him yet. Didn't
no, he was awful. He was
I
the
would say
worst tackle in the league.
Cross had probably the best out of those 3, right?
Yeah, him or Icky.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay, actually, I just thought of this. Sorry to cut you off, but
what?
the Peter versus Paris debate is very similar to the Cross versus Icky debate, where
Mhm,
it's like Cross is just a behemoth,
mhm.
who is amazing in pass blocking. Icky, you can kick anywhere.
That's what I was gonna say is you Icky wa there was a lot of talk about him getting kicked in at guard if a team
Hmm.
were to when a team was gonna draft him, but I think mm, I think I'd have right now, just because of how big of a jump Seattle's offensive line took, and I know that's not only Cross that helped.
Yeah,
I'd have him ranked number 1, and then I think I'd put Peter 2, and then I think I'd put Icky 3 and Paris 4, but that's just personal
and
preference.
Neil 5.
Neil 5. Neil
Yeah, no,
5 100%.
yeah, no, he's awful. And
I
I just like to say that I know so much ball. Like last year before the draft, I was campaigning. You can ask Minnie. I was
Mhm.
campaigning. Cross is the best tackle in the draft, and Neil is the worst of the three.
Yeah.
If I had to rank them, I'd probably go Cross. Then I'd go Peter,
Mhm.
and I think we're gonna have the same one. Then I'd go Icky. Then I go
Mhm.
Paris, and then I
Yeah.
go Neil.
Yeah.
But honestly, I think between you can interchange those 5 right now,
Mhm.
or those 4 right now. Neil's dog.
Yeah. I think he could take a step, but they're
It
other than him, their O-line is pretty awful still, huh?
Andrew Thomas too.
Other Andrew Thomas, yeah.
So if
Because
I mean if he goes on the same trajectory that Andrew Thomas went on, where Andrew
Mhm.
Thomas was abysmal
Horrible.
his first
Yeah.
year and then best tackle in the league his second year, if
Mhm.
he does that, then he won't though.
Yeah.
All right. Did you want to do yours now?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Alright, so same as you had, I have the Colts trading up and going Bryce Young. They need to stop trying to get veteran quarterbacks and make them good. It's not gonna work. This system is clearly built for Andrew Luck, or was, so it's a good thing that Bryce Young's gonna be starting with a rookie head coach who's gonna build a system around him, rather than trying to fit guys in who are not even close to the players that Andrew Luck were, nowhere near the talent that Andrew Luck had. So I think that's going to be a good pick. CJ Stroud at 2, obvious pick. If you're not going to, they are quarterback needy. If they don't get the best one, they're going to have to go with 2. And it's not even like Stroud's a huge drop off. And there's a lot of mysteries around Stroud still, I think. And in the Georgia game, he really showed off that he can be a quarterback that runs, because that's not something he showed often in college. And he looked very well running against the best defense in college football. He had probably the best game of his career against the best defense in college football, which is just outstanding. And
Hmm.
then I have Will Anderson at 3. because JJ Watt retired and their other edge is a pending free agent, and he could be asking for some decent money because he's not a bad player. He could be asking for some decent money, but it's just really, I think, comes down to how the org sees him. But also, Will Anderson Jr. is just an absolute monster. He's just a beast of a human being. And losing JJ Watt, you're going to need to replace him with someone that can be quality.
Mhm.
Jalen Carter at 4 is obvious. The Bears' defense is horrible. They're horrible as a whole. Get a guy that can stop the run, get a guy that can rush the passer. I seriously think that there's not a player comp for Jalen Carter. He's just his comparison's a brick wall. You run into him and you're not getting past him. You're not going forward.
Mhm.
The Seahawks need defense. They, like you said, they need something on the defensive line. They're they're pretty horseshit. If you're not getting Jalen Carter or Will Anderson, you're going Tyree Wilson. This is one that I think you'll question, and that's Christian Gonzalez at 6. And this is one that I was talking to my friends about today too, because obviously it's weird to say taking a corner at 6 is too high, but taking one at 10 isn't too high. They took one at 3 a few years ago. And obviously, and of course I'm blanking on his name right now. He was a really good prospect coming out of college.
Jeff Okuda.
Yeah, Jeff Okuda. But 2, if you're saying 2 is not too high, but 6 is, then you're dumb. And obviously, I feel him and Witherspoon are interchangeable for cornerback 1. I really like the way that Christian Gonzalez plays. And I have a little bias because I'm a little bit of an Oregon fan, but I like the way he plays, and I think he'll fit their system pretty well. Richardson at 7 is one that I was going back and forth on for the longest because I think that they're, like you said, they're gonna get a veteran quarterback, but the Raiders are one of the worst drafting franchises. I think not in terms of who they of uh, they're just idiots. They took a kicker in the first round. Um, I think this is just such a Raiders pick. I think this is a Josh McDaniels pick. He, like I said to you today, history always repeats itself. He already coached a quarterback from Florida that wore number 15 and was a scrambler. And I just think, other than the offensive line, other than McDaniels not being the best coach, I think it would help Richardson a lot to have Devontae Adams and Darren Waller as weapons as a rookie to practice with them. I think that's going to help introduce him to the game pretty well. And I really wanted to take Paris Johnson with this pick, but I just see I don't know why. I just see them taking Anthony Richardson. I can't tell you why. I think they're gonna target Jimmy G, but that's not a guy of the future. That's not a guy that's gonna be like Tom Brady and play till he's 45. Jimmy G's like like Kirk's age, like 34, 35.
No, no, he's
Young?
young.
Really?
He's not young, but he's not Kirk's age. I
Okay.
I remember I remember him being like a rookie. Let me look
Yeah,
it
because
up.
he was on the team when they won the Super Bowl against Seattle. He was the backup.
And
Him
and
and
he came in the year after Deflategate, so what, 2015? That was his
oh my
second
god,
year in
he
the
is young.
league.
His hair is graying. I get thrown off by it. So what,
He's
like
also just
30?
been he's just been mediocre like for
Yeah.
so long that it's
Yeah.
like, all right, you have to be old.
He's like a bridge
He's
mentor-ish
31.
guy. He's 31? Okay, so I
Yeah.
wasn't I wasn't horribly off.
That's a he's
Um,
old, man.
yeah. He's not gonna be, I think he's a serviceable I think he's an above serviceable guy, but he's not a long-term option for them. And really, unless they're tanking, and I don't think they're gonna wanna tank because McDaniels is already on the hot seat and he knows it. The only reason he's coaching next year is because they don't have enough money to fire him. They came out and said that. So I think he knows he's on the hot seat. They're not gonna tank for Caleb Williams. They're not gonna do that. So I think they go Richardson there. And then Miles Murphy to the Falcons. I personally think the Falcons are not a good team at all. I know that might seem as a bad take. A lot of people are high on the Falcons for some reason. I really don't think they're that good. and the whole season I didn't think they were that good. I think literally any pick here would make them a better team. I'm
Exactly.
just
Like, I mean, I want you to point to one position where you're like, yeah, no, that's good.
yeah.
They're
Like
good.
I just
Nothing.
I could see them going corner here to get a guy to pair up with AJ Terrell, is not who has not been that good for the past 2 years either. Like there's really not a player on this team that just stands out like at all.
One guy that I think consistently mocking to the Falcons, probably like 50% of my mock drafts has been
Mhm.
Quentin Johnston,
Mhm.
just to
Mhm.
get another dude in that room.
Yeah.
Because the more explosion on your offense, the better. I mean, you could go the route of building through the offensive line. Their offensive
Yeah.
line is actually already pretty good.
Yeah, it's their interior is
They
pretty
have
good,
what?
huh?
Chris Lindstrom.
Don't they have Matt Hennessy? Or I don't know his first name. I know they have someone with Hennessy on their team.
He's got to be good.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, I mean, yeah, they're just not good. Moral of the story.
They're just like I see them possibly being in contention for the
They
first
won't
overall
be.
pick.
There's literally no way they will be simply because of the division they play in.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
Like they probably are going to get three wins. I think everyone in that
Mhm.
division is going to split with each other. It's they all
I
equally
think the
suck.
Panthers might take a step.
Well,
Speaking of the
they
Panthers,
should.
smooth transition to the Panthers. Frank Reich loves tall white quarterbacks. Who's the only tall white quarterback that's in this first round? Will
Tanner McKee.
Levis. No. Um, I think that Frank Reich, like the Colts, need to stop continuing to just sign veterans. So you can re-sign Sam Darnold, cool. Have Sam Darnold start 5 games, then Will Levis takes over. Um, I, I, they need to take a quarterback. They, that's just all I can say. They need to take a QB.
Hmm.
Um, and then the Eagles. Hold on, my parents are coming in.
Oh, hold on. Let me take Bennett out of here. Um, while Bennett's doing that, we've done so well. Are you thumbs me up? Okay, we've done so well. Um, that I think we can give ourselves a pass on that one.
Okay. Minor interruption. Okay. Devin Witherspoon to the Eagles. They are going to lose Bradbury to free agency. I don't know if Chauncey comes back. Witherspoon, arguably best corner in the draft.
Hmm.
So why not?
Yeah.
That's all I can. Why not? Was it him that he didn't allow a single touchdown this year? He had what, like a 34.6 QB rating against him when QBs were throwing to him. I just, yeah. Why not? That's all I can say.
Yeah, I guess Christian Gonzalez is the only thing that I like. I like corner at 6 for the Lions, but Christian Gonzalez seems
Can you
sort of like a
see him
reach.
behind me?
I
He's
could.
gone now. He's gone now.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah, I see that is a little bit of a reach, but I just oh my god. I that they need a corner. They need a corner. They could trade down. That's why I like yours more than mine in that sense of the Panthers trading up with it. So it makes it fit better for them
Hmm.
to draft that way, but
It's
I
more
don't know.
cohesive.
Yeah,
But the
but
draft
it's
isn't
also the
supposed to be
NFL.
cohesive.
Yeah, it's also the NFL, and literally anything can happen in the draft. So
Hmm. Well, dude, you live in Pacific time, don't you?
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's 12:40 for me.
Oh, so you need to go get some sleep.
Probably.
All
I
right.
don't know if you've been seeing, but I've been trying to hide my
Yeah,
yawns.
I've been seeing it. I've been seeing it.
Damn it. No, but yeah, we're him. We're idiots. We talk ball. And we know it too.
Hmm.
Um, this is actually a pretty good. This is like pretty good for our first episode.
Yeah.
It was pretty like not choppy. Like
Mhm.
the when our my first episode with Joe, and then doing some other stuff with a few guys I don't think you know. It was always very like, well, we don't know what to do,
Mhm.
but we're him, we're
Yeah.
they. More. All right,
We're
are we
them.
done? Yeah, basically.
I believe so. Oh my god. He is squeaking back there, dude.
All right. Well, um, I guess that's probably our sign to get out. Again, subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, follow us on Twitter at evanozall31 and at Bennett Torgerson1, along with our channel's Twitter. Along with our channel's Twitter account at Two Idiots Talk Ball for the best clips and takes. Um, we'll see you on the next one, whenever that is, whenever we feel like it. And have a blessed day.
Bro, he is